Yeah. Bloop. Confirm that for me whenever you get the chance. Nah, of course. It's the second season of For Honor, man. Yeah. Yep. Vikings won the first season, and of course, I was a member of the Vikings faction, so I got all sorts of wonderful rewards for doing that. Isn't that great? I'm the best. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing football into this shit. Sorry, I heard you guys were making Adam say all sorts of ridiculous shit to me when I couldn't hear him. And is that why Ghastly said that it was so funny? Oh, God, they can only hear Emery. Oh, motherfucker. All right, better cancel this match. See why that could be. Could you say something, guys?
This is Adam. Hi, hello.
Flabbity jabbity ding dong boing.
All right, let's see
Can
if
you
they
hear
can hear
us
that
now?
Hi, hello.
Can you hear me now?
Do it now. Listen.
Get to the voiceover.
Well, if you guys still can't hear them, then I guess I'm just gonna.
Jesus
kill
Christ!
myself.
Oh my God! I hope they can hear us.
They say they can hear us now.
Oh, they hear everyone.
Okay.
That was a close one. Holy.
You realize
Thought
you all
so.
just saved Emery's life? You're heroes. Or villain.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I would have killed
Oh
myself.
man, I've saved so many lives tonight. I don't know what we were talking about, you guys, but it was really funny. You missed it. It's amazing.
We were talking about.
Shit.
All right, we're just going to recap. We were basically explaining what happened, how you ran out to deal with a fire, and then Emery needed help during the stream. But so I was helping him by talking to the
He
audience.
didn't know.
But he didn't know because he couldn't hear me, and that was
Yeah.
It was fun actually. It was like part of the energy of it. Like everybody was having a great time in the comments because they had no idea. You know, I was doing all the things you wouldn't like. I was like, I'm making fun of you, and then when you would talk, I would just say what you said, so I would just be quoting you endlessly. It was great. Yeah, you'd be
Oh,
so upset,
no.
but then at the same time, you were like laughing and having a good time. It was really weird.
Well, I shouldn't be echoing anymore, you guys. I shouldn't be echoing. Are you sure I'm echoing? Because I shouldn't be. I'm not coming through Emery's speakers anymore.
No,
I
you're
might have
definitely
been.
not.
What? There is echo. What the fuck?
What kind of echo?
I don't know. It says that they say that I echo, and they say Emery wear headphones.
It is just you that's
impossible.
echoing?
That's really impossible.
I don't understand.
Don't
how
you
that's
guys?
possible.
Emery's gonna kill himself. You got to
Unless-
stop saying stuff like this. We don't
Oh my
want
God.
Emery to die.
Wait, how is it that Adam is not echoing but you
Adam,
are? That
say
makes
something.
zero sense
Hi
to me.
everybody, how are you? They say
Adam
I
is also echoing. No, I hear no echo. Gassy Norseman hears no echo. Omega hears no echo. The echo is real. I don't
Okay.
hear it. This is really confusing. Why can some people
God
hear echo
damn
and
it.
some people can't? I want to kill myself now.
That makes no sense.
Fuck
See, you know what I
this.
mean then.
The echo is a lie. Okay, there's no echo. People are just trying. They want us to kill ourselves. We literally know that we will kill
Yeah.
ourselves if there's echo.
They're just fucking with us.
If there's echo, then I suggest turning off your computer and putting your head in a bucket.
There's no delay, is there? I hope to God there's
I
no
don't know, but
delay.
Kevin says I'm echoing, but you can't trust Kevin because he gets.
He's a liar.
He's not a
And
liar, but he
charlatan.
is a charlatan. Yeah, we're fine. There's no echo. It's fun to think about that idea, though. The theory of that.
You know what's funny is that I definitely have a little bit of an audio delay as far as this game goes. Because, yeah, so I'm hearing the audio all, like, late, which is kind of weird. I'm going to have to try and ignore that. It might throw me off a little bit. So if I suck, or if I die even a single time, it's because of that. Just so you know. Shut
Elton
up.
turned his computer off so he can't hear the echo anymore. Oh shit, he's watching on his TV. That's tricky. Sean Henry wants us to tell everyone about our Winnipeg trip, Adam and Aaron. We will, and you'll hear, some of you will hear an echo, and it'll make it seem like we're in a fucking canyon, and the rest of you won't. It'll be great. So Adam and I and Matt Sloan went to Winnipeg, and there was a convention called FanQuest Con. It was their first year, and we had a pretty fun time. I was not impressed with Winnipeg. No offense to any Winnipeggians, Winnipegos. But your downtown is just like not very exciting. Although I did hear that when it's really cold out and the river freezes, you can get on your ice skates, and they actually open stores on the river, so you can ice skate right into the fucking stores, basically. Like go to restaurants and stuff with your ice skates on, and that sounds really fun because it's really cold there all the time. Anyway, trip to Winnipeg. We went to the convention. There was some sort of mistake the first day that we were there, and Blame Society was supposed to do a Q&A in the morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, well, it's a rough time to do a Q&A, but we'll see what happens. We get to the Q&A, there's one person there in the audience. And we were like, what? And there's no signs and there was no signs anywhere to tell you like where to go for this Q&A.
Yeah,
in fact, there was...
The only guy was there is he was dedicated.
Exactly. He must have...
I was going to say, was it Courtney?
It was not Courtney. She was invited, but she was not able to make it, and Adam came. And so the one guy was there, and we were like, what happened? There was no signs. We couldn't even find the convention when we first went there. Was that the same morning that we went to the Q&A, Adam?
Yeah, we tried to find the actual convention center, and we were like, I don't know where the hell it is. No, we went the day before. We went the day before for that D&D thing. Oh,
that's right. Yeah, it was at the university, and there was nothing, and it was just like, this is taking place at the university somewhere, and we were like, okay. Little did we know we were standing right next to the correct building, but it felt like we were in a loading zone or a parking lot or something. And we were like, I don't know where we are. So we followed some people around until we actually got into the right building. Went up to the third floor via some escalators. Eventually found the theater. So it was really hard, and I can see why there was no one at our Q&A. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
We did.
Well,
we
did you answer
really
that guy's
great
questions?
Conversation with that dude. He was a huge fan, and he loved it. He couldn't believe it, and he gave us a game, and he talked about furries, and we had quite a wonderful time. Yeah,
He
apparently
talked
he's a
about
furry.
furries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got a friend who's into that shit too.
But that was the most
guy.
shameful moment of the con. But the rest of it was fine for the most part. I'll tell you one more story that's really funny after this. But on Saturday we had the beer and board game show. There was like 60, 70 people in the audience.
Yeah, that went really well.
Everybody was drinking. We had a guy, guest at the convention who is actually a cast member of The Flash, the TV show. He actually came up and was on beer and board games, and he was great. He was really funny. Totally got everything we were doing and was amazing. We also had the creators of a game called Surplus of Popes on, and they were also very funny. And that was great, and that turned out really well. And you'll be able to see the results of that soon. I'm just working out some audio glitches. But if you're a Patreon over on the Blame Society Patreon, the full video will be available to you hopefully tomorrow. And the episode that we
Awesome.
made there comes out next week. And then so we had like a couple other little events where we had a signing, which was fine, and there was a bunch of fans, and then we had a talk with a bunch of fans, and then eventually they were like, "Oh, we have another Q&A scheduled for you at noon on Sunday." And so we got up.
And
went to
don't
the
worry,
Q&A.
Sunday's the big day. Big day is Sunday.
Sunday's the big day. This is when everybody comes. We get to the Q&A. There's 4 people.
Yep. And one of them was a woman.
Okay, wait. No, don't
No, you
give it
tell it,
away.
tell it.
Don't give it away. So we start doing the Q&A for the 4 people because we're just like, whatever. We did it for one guy. This is 4 times as many. Awesome. And so we start doing the Q&A, and we get, these people are actually asking us questions. The sad number of people are asking us questions. Like there's like a mom and her kid, and a dude from Fargo who drove all the way up to see us.
That was Grant.
That was Grant Sheet, yep. And a woman, an older woman. We'd seen her the night before.
There was also
At
Kevin
the-
Smith looking dude. Don't forget.
Oh, the Kevin Smith looking dude, and also a dude, the woman who had watched the improv show the earlier night. Anyway, she's,
Motherfucking
dude
Kevin
looked
Smith looking motherfucker.
exactly like Kevin Smith.
and I
To the
think
point
that,
where when I first saw him, I was like, "Oh my God, Kevin Smith's here!"
Yes.
And we
What
talked
the-
to him about it, and he's like, "I have a photo with him, but no, I'm not Kevin Smith."
but he definitely looks like him, and it seems like he's cultivating that look, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But he was a nice guy, and so this woman's looking at a book, and then I'm like, oh well, she'll stop when we start the Q&A, and then she doesn't. She just keeps reading the book, and eventually, for me, it became like a game, where I was like, if we start talking about something interesting enough, she'll look up from her book and pay attention to us. Then if we talk, and we know we're talking about something boring, if she goes back to her book.
My interpretation of that was actually the opposite. I thought she was sitting there using it as like a quiet library to read in, and then she would look up at us like, "Could you keep it down? I'm trying to read."
Oh yeah,
Like,
see,
that's-
Adam thought like
that was my interpretation of it.
when we were getting too animated and too excited, that meant that she was annoyed because she was like, "This is a library. Can you shut up?" And it wasn't a library; it was a theater. But she may have
Yeah,
been
that's-
had dementia or something. I don't know. But it was hilarious. But we had a really nice panel actually with a few people, and it was no big deal. Still super shameful, but we live with that. And we leave, and like where one of the guys is escorting us out of the theater, and Matt is just like loses his shit. He's just like, "What the fuck was that woman doing reading that fucking book?
He kept his cool
Does
the
she
entire
fucking
time.
realize you fucking read a book?" He was like so fucking pissed. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was. He kept his cool the entire time, and the second we're in the
He did.
green room, he was like, "Motherfucker!"
He just lost it. It was fucking awesome. Sloan rage to the max.
Yeah.
And what?
Does he hate books?
Yeah,
Does he hate
does.
books?
Obviously, he hates books. and the dude must have
Okay.
went and told the organizers
That's fair.
of the event, and like they came up to us afterwards and they're just like, "We're so sorry about it. It was like people just didn't know it was happening. We didn't publish anything, and blah blah blah." And like, "Oh, there's no volunteers for the event," and we were just like, "Yeah, all right, it's cool, whatever." But that was nice. Yeah, it's good to stay humble, right?
Yeah, I had no problem with it. I mean, it was like, obviously it would have been better to do that with more people, but I thought we did fine, all things considered. It wasn't until the end when they kind of figured out maybe the panels should be in the main room where the people are.
They did actually move panels right after that Q&A. They were like, let's have all the panels down in the main room where all the displays are and all that kind of stuff, where all the people are. And then they were much more well attended after that. So Matt's reaction to that woman reading a book actually made something really positive occur. It was pretty great. Emery, you're supposed to stop
that's
dying.
cool.
Like,
I'm doing fine, man. I've killed way more than I've died.
because Alden's very upset with how much
Yeah.
you're dying. I don't know.
Why is he so upset? We just rallied.
So anyway,
I'm
that was
good.
the convention, and the actual beer and board game show was really great and so fun, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, Sean had a question about that. He asked me, did I have to beer wench even though I was at the pub? Yes, I had to do that. I had to do a lot of stuff I don't usually have to do.
And actually, guys, I'm gonna do something that I really don't want to do right now, but that I have to do. I'm gonna give Adam a lot of credit. He really did a great fucking job as the beer wench at this show. He was all over the place, doing all these different tasks and the camera and doing a million things at once. And it was a really
Oh,
high
that's
pressure
great.
situation, and he just he fucking rocked. He really did a great job, and he got the job done. He actually just performed under pressure, and so there you go.
I don't like that. Call me an
I know I
asshole.
don't like it either. It's really awkward. Fuck you.
I know.
Adam.
I don't like this. I don't know what to say. I'm a rap here. I'm a rap here. Okay, I feel better. I feel better.
So okay, Megan has solved the crisis now. She's got no one showering in her hotel room. Was it a man or a woman that was showering?
You
in the
need to
hotel
set that up because they don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I was reading through the Discord, and Megan's like, we just walked into our hotel room, and there was someone in it showering. If you've been following this on Discord, you know that Megan's traveling across the country. Well, she actually mentioned it in the chat during the live broadcast, and I mentioned it as well. I still never found out whether it was coast to coast, because I couldn't see all the comments. Could we confirm that? Anyway. She's apparently in a new hotel room. And there's nobody naked showering in it. So that's got to be awkward when you're showering in a hotel room and the hotel gives someone else the key, and they go into your room, and you're in there doing something nasty. Which showering isn't nasty, but
Showering's super
It's
nasty.
because you
I
don't
guess it
shower enough,
can
and
be.
then there's less goo that you leave in there. It's just a you thing.
yeah, that's true. The goo, goo,
Yeah. Gooey.
Space Morgan coast to coast.
But yeah,
I have no
Megan,
idea who was showering. Megan says, I have no idea who was showering in my room. All I saw were flip-flops and keys, and I got the fuck out.
Good plan.
Probably a dude. Flip-flops sounds pretty dudish. Dreams Steve. Is that Steven?
What? Yeah, Steven looks like he's going.
Oh, bye, Steve.
He's in the bed. Good night, Steven.
Thanks for making those pictures for me, buddy.
See, Steve.
Yeah, Winnipeg was fun. You know, it had a lot of the Canadian quirks that we could enjoy. You know, restaurants, food, that kind of stuff that we can't usually have access to. So we had really good Middle Eastern, but then we had the worst Indian food I've ever had.
Oh my god. It
that
was
was-
flavorless. It was I had chicken, it was dry. It was
Yeah.
so awful.
That was the
How was
Dude,
Indian food?
yeah,
was the
exactly.
only time-
Oh my God.
Emery, it was the only time in my life I had to add salt to Indian food to
Oh
make
my
it taste
God.
like something. It was brutal.
It was just
and it's weird because usually Indian food in
crazy.
Canada is really good. The only Indian food I ever had that was worse was in Paris. That was miserable, but this was really bad. Yeah,
Emery was a spammy centurion.
Yep. I'm definitely
Sorry,
being a
being
centurion.
the poutine. Actually, Aaron, Matt, and the guy we were with, they all had that. I actually didn't do it just because I wasn't hungry, and even the smallest poutine is eating a tire. It's 3,000 calories. It's not something you're supposed to do.
I ate the top of my poutine. I ate the top layer and left the bottom two layers. But it was good because this place is solely devoted to making poutine, so it was actually really good. And we were there after beer and board games, so I was kind of tipsy. But there was maybe one or two sort of iffy looking dudes standing at the counter waiting for all the drunk people to come up and collect their food. And I went up to collect my food, and they didn't have it ready, it turned out. And one of these iffy looking dudes said, is that your soda? And I said, no. And he grabbed it and immediately started sucking it the fuck into his mouth. He was just as soon as I said it wasn't mine, he took it right off of their counter, started sucking it down like there was no tomorrow. And I was just why do the employees at this place let these dudes just stand there and take drunk people's food. Like, that's really weird.
Because it's Canada and they would be rude to say anything.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a question. Where'd it go? Oh shit! I have to find it. Oh, a question about the name of the restaurant. It was Clay Oven in Winnipeg. It was terrible. Don't ever go there.
Yeah, don't ever go there.
Yeah, like
And-
just
okay.
down the
Clay
street,
Oven.
there's a place called Taste of Mediterranean. That shit was amazing, but they were closed all weekend. They were only there the day we got there, and then they didn't operate on like, the weekend hours or something.
So I'll tell you another story about Adam. While we were in...
We were in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I know we were in Winnipeg. I was watching Emery's shoulders flame out. So Adam was like just he looked up the Indian restaurant. He was like, "We're gonna get Indian food," and he said it like 10 times, like in the morning.
Yep.
Like he
He
really
gets so
does
excited
get
about Indian
it.
food.
And he like pounded his
Oh,
fucking
man.
fist down on the table. And Matt caught on to this, and he was just like, "I know you said that," and then like whenever Adam would say it, would be like, "Yes, I know." He was like, just like, "Yeah, we get it, Adam. You're really excited about the Indian food." And then he whispered to me when we were actually walking to the place that had Indian food. He was just like, I hate to say it, but I kind of hope the food at this place is really awful, just so Adam is disappointed."
Right, it was
And
terrible.
it was really great. It was like so bad, and it all came true. Like his wish came true, and
I
it was
know.
the worst food ever.
I could tell. I even apologized to him, even though I had nothing to do with it. Like I was just like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. That was like the worst Indian food I've ever had."
And he actually didn't mind his food. He was like, "Oh, my food was okay," but oh man, that was priceless.
Everything went better than expected.
Now, all right. So we were at when we did beer and board games. You ordered some food, like chicken fingers or something, and
Yes.
it came with this little sauce that they were like, "Hey, try this. This is really good stuff. It's called honey dill sauce," and we've never heard of it. And they're like, "Oh, you never will. It's a Manitoba thing. Like outside of Manitoba, nobody ever has this." And I was like, "All right, so I tried it. It was like fucking amazing." And I was like, "Well, where do I get this?" And they're like, "Grocery stores will have it, but only in Manitoba, and it's awesome." And I was
Oh yeah,
like,
what
"Fuck."
was that called?
Honey dill sauce.
Yeah.
So I wandered out to a No Frills, which is a grocery store chain up there, and I scoured the fucking place until I could find one. And there was exactly one brand of it. I bought it, but then I had to give it to you because you had a suitcase to check, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that they won't let me bring this in a carry-on. So I'm very curious to get that away from you so I can try it and be like, what's up? Maybe we'll like order some food next time I'm up there, and we'll all just have the fucking honey dill sauce. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, honey
That
dill
sounds good.
sauce. That
Let's do
sounds
it.
sexy.
I thought it was okay. It was like not. I don't know. There was something a little. Actually, I don't remember what it tasted like, to be totally honest, because it was right before
really
the
good.
show.
It was really good. Yeah, you weren't really in the mode to eat anything. You were just kind of doing it.
No, I had to because we were about to drink, and I was like, I gotta eat a bunch of crap just so I don't die. And
Yep.
then the dudes from Surplus and Popes like hadn't eaten anything, and they were like, "Do we have time to get food?" And I was just like, "No," because we're about to start the show, and we had all these crazy mishaps, and like there was supposed to be a whole bunch of people going to be on the show, and like things just got chaotic. And,
Oh, that was the worst. I'm not going to say who they were, but there was like this group that was supposed to do the show with them, and they just like
Yes.
didn't show up. And it was like, why didn't they show up? Oh, they decided to do something else. It's like, what do you mean they decided to do something else?
Right.
They were supposed to be here. It was like on the schedule. Like, this is
And we
okay.
don't know whose fault it was really, if there was like a miscommunication about whether or not it was optional. But anyway, it didn't matter because it ended up being fine. But then the Surplus of Popes guys didn't have any food, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't want them to go drink on an empty stomach, so I gave them half of my chicken fingers and fries, and just had to suck it. But it was it was a necessary sacrifice. I'm a hero. The worst grocery store chain. What's the worst grocery store chain? I think Adam went to it. I didn't go to it.
Liz is referring to No Frills. No Frills is a chain, and like each one's individually owned or operated, so they'll have somebody's name. So if you had one, it'd be called Aaron's No Frills. Then there could be an Emery's No Frills. Like that's how it always
weird.
is called. They're kind of ghetto, but in Winnipeg that was the choice. Like that was what was walkable. But yeah, I agree. It is very shitty.
Shit-tastic is the word.
Now, one thing I got while I was up there, I bought a bag of mozzarella and marinara flavored Ruffles, like mozzarella sticks. They make so many more fucking potato chip flavors up there. It's sick. I bought a bag of them, and I brought them back to the house because my house, we were having a party. Like my mom was having like a Memorial Day party. So I was like, perfect. I brought in a ringer for appetizers. You know, I was like, I imported mine, and like fucking, they were popular. Everybody ate the shit out of those. It's great.
Okay, this is a great question. So, what was more awkward, the Dota infomercial or the Q&A with one person?
Dota.
Dota for sure.
Not even close.
So much more awkward.
There was nothing really awkward about this. It was just kind of like weird. And then, you know, the guy was nice. We took photos with him. We answered his questions. Then we just got up and left. Like, it can't be awkward when there's no one to see it. Whereas Dota
in
was
fact,
like the exact opposite.
There was no pressure, and it was, you know, it was kind of actually relaxing in a way, but ultimately a little bit shameful because you feel responsible, even though you have nothing to do with how many people show up, because you didn't arrange the event, and you didn't do the advertising, and you didn't let anyone know that it was happening. But that was more about shame. But the Dota thing was just like consistently awkward. You try to be funny, and then the hosts are just like, "No, stop it." And then you try to be funny again.
Spiel some Dota?
Yeah, exactly. And then you try to be funny again, and then one of the hosts just goes like, "Spiel some Dota," and like starts singing a fucking weird ass song that nobody understands or knows, or it gets. And you're just like, okay, this is really happening. And that was the most awkward thing that's ever happened to me in my life, except for the time I wore a cape on a date. Otherwise, it's the most awkward thing that ever happened.
It was pretty bad, the whole spiel of Dota thing, but, you know, whatever. The worst part about that was that they told us something completely different before it all started. So we were like, oh, we'll have an intro, and we can talk to our fans, and we can, like, explain what's going on. Nope. We didn't know any of that shit. Like, it just kind of started, and they're like, you're going to have the hosts. We didn't know we were going to have hosts. We didn't know that until it actually started. They were like, oh, it'll just be you.
And they probably didn't know that until right before it started either. Here's the thing that I'm learning, not just about the entertainment industry, because I already knew it about the entertainment industry, but like about a lot of events that people organize. They don't know what the fuck they're doing at all, and they just do it. And I kind of admire that attitude. Like, it's just like, we're just gonna do it, we're gonna see what works and what doesn't. Everyone's going to come away from it feeling like they were kicked in the balls, but we'll have learned from, you know, what we did. And it's just like so many events that I've been to are malleable like this, and like weirdly, like just things do work or they don't, and I don't know. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Chaos Chicken would be right.
Damn, that's so fucking dumb. What is happening?
I remember when we did that Dota thing. I remember the director came out finally. We hadn't talked to him at all, and I remember him just looking at the crew and being like, "All right, so what is this project? What are we doing?" And we're supposed to go live in like 90 minutes. He had no idea like what any of this was, and so he started taking my advice on like what order to do shit in, because. You remember we did it where there was the intros, and then there was like, we're going to go over to this part, and you guys are going to sell stuff, and then you're going to go over here, and you're going to start playing the games. And he wanted to do it the other way around, and I was like, no, you have to have intros. Like, he didn't want to have intros. He's like, what do we need intros for? And I was like,
why would your 500,000 subscribers want to understand what's happening? They don't need to understand what's happening.
I just remember it being like this really awkward conversation, because a performer or actor almost having way more directorial knowledge on this shoot than the actual guy you think is supposed to know all this.
Yeah,
and it was
exactly.
fucking weird.
But I will say, first of all, that the Dota thing, since the way that you guys reacted to the Dota thing and like what happened because of it, has made it like all so worth it. Like, I'm just like, there was never, I have no negative connotations with that event at all. It was awkward, but like, it became like this thing, and like it just makes me laugh thinking about it. And the thing I'll say about the fan quest is that it was indeed a first time convention, and so of course, you know, there's going to be kinks to work out, and there's going to be issues that you can't foresee. And Dan, the guy who runs it, is a huge fan of Blame Society, and I think one of the main reasons that he actually started or did this convention was because of us, because we were supposed to do a convention in we were supposed to do the C4 convention, it's called,
In Winnipeg.
in Winnipeg.
Really?
And what happened was we were booked, everything was set, and all of a sudden the guy who runs the C4 convention in Winnipeg said, "Oh, you guys are going to drink beer while you do this show? No, we can't pay you for that. We can't do that." And we were like, "Okay, well then we just won't do it if you're not going to like yeah, that was the
It's like the
He
whole
didn't
fucking
seem to realize that beer would be involved in beer and board games.
Right. I don't know how he didn't realize that. And so we were like, okay, well, then we can't do it. And so then Dan, shortly thereafter, quit, started his own convention, which I think will be wildly successful in the years to come because he's got the right attitude and he's got the right things going on. But, you know, he just, he had some volunteers bomb out and things didn't quite go as smoothly as they could have. But that's how you learn. And so I was totally fine with it. But, you know, ultimately, like, being part of that chaos is just kind of like some funny things are going to happen. And I'm actually fine with the things that happen there, too, because I don't feel offended by any of the things that happen. It was just like, it was so amazing when Matt was pissed off at the woman who was reading a book during our Q&A. Like,
He lost his shit in a way I haven't seen him do in years.
it was a priceless moment that I would just pay to see again. It was so beautiful.
Yep. It was also kind of fun to just wander around and like check out different shit. Like, you know, there was so people knew Matt was going to be there, and they knew Matt was like the voice of Darth Vader, but they didn't really know like which one he was or where to go. And I remember there was this one video game kiosk, and this guy grabbed Force Unleashed 2, and he was just kind of looking at it, and he was talking to his girlfriend. He's like, "Oh, maybe I can buy it. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't." And he starts to put it back. And I just lean over at him. I'm like, "You see that guy right over there?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "He voiced Darth Vader in this game. You buy this, he'll sign it for you right now." And the guy's like, "Oh, fuck." And he just goes over and buys it. And so it was cool to be able to be part of that. I think my favorite thing in general that we did, though, is when we accidentally went on to the wrong podcast. Remember that? Like,
Oh, yeah. That was kind of cool.
There was a bunch of people who had podcasts there, and this one podcast wanted us for Star Wars moments, so we all said like a single line about like
Can
what
I
our
actually
favorites.
tell the story? Because I think you're going to underplay like what happened.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
Damn.
I'm not
he
gonna.
told
I
you.
mean, it's to his own. The story's to his credit. So anyway, this woman comes up to us and she starts talking to us briefly, and then she goes away, and then she comes back and she's like, would you be willing to be on a podcast later? And she hands us a card, and it was very charming.
It took everything she had to talk to us.
It did. It took a lot of effort on her part. So we go back to the podcast along this wall. You know, there's a lot of booths and stuff like that, and we go to this podcast, and we're like, "Oh, someone told us to come and do your podcast." This woman told us we should come and do it, and they were like, "What? Were you?" Like they had no idea what was going on. We were about to leave, and they're just like, "Well, do you guys know about video games? Do you want to like do the podcast? Because this is our podcast." And they explained it to us, and it was a podcast about gaming and video games. And they were like, "We know a lot about video games, and we know everything about video games. And we're going to quiz you. We're going to tell you what's wrong about all your answers." And they set it up in this really just like, you know, you're not
Yeah,
going
we're
to know
gonna shame
shit.
you.
Yeah, we're going to shame you.
into not knowing anything.
Because you don't know anything about video games. And so then we were like, okay. And Matt and I sort of pushed Adam down in the chair and we're like, okay, go ahead. And then they asked Adam like all these questions about video games. Like, what's your favorite, you know, thing here? What's the difference? Or like, what were some of the questions they asked Adam?
It was always like really obscure stuff. It was like if you could pick one monster from any game to be a barista at Starbucks for you, who would you pick?
Yes.
And I said Praetor from War of the Monsters because I think it would be hilarious to see him try because he would fail. And they were just like floored by how obscure that reference was.
And so Adam like answered all these questions with extreme knowledge that, you know, they were just like they never said anything about any of his answers being wrong or anything. And I think they just didn't expect him to have the depth of knowledge that he did. So that was hilarious watching like Adam just like destroy them. Like he was talking about Shenmue, and they knew what he was talking about, but obviously Adam's the Shenmue expert, so knew everything about it. So they were actually asking like, well, why do you think this about Shenmue? Why do you think that? It was like, it was really funny just to watch them like, you know, actually become interested. It just like the dynamic of it. We should try to find that podcast because I think it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I kept one of their cards so that we could. It was funny because I knew we had shut them down. Like,
yes, Adam did school them gassy Norseman. That's exactly right.
And I never
really
saw
funny.
that look. I never saw that look on Matt's face before because I think for years he's had no idea what I do from a daily basis. And when he
Right.
saw me do that, he was like, "Is that what he does?" Like,
Yeah.
that was weird.
And admittedly, like afterward, I didn't want to sit down and answer the questions because I was like, Adam just gonna make me look like a fucking idiot now. And I sat down and answered the questions. It was okay. I actually have more video game knowledge, I guess, than I realized. But then Matt was like, "No, I'm not doing it. Let's go." So we left, and we eventually found the right podcast. And I think they interviewed Matt about doing the voice of Vader, so that was cool. Or they interviewed all of us, didn't they?
They did, but it was mostly about Matt.
It was, yes. Sensible. I don't have a crush on Adam, okay, Kevin? Just telling it like it is, that's all. Sometimes Adam doesn't fuck up,
Thanks.
but it's rare, so I
I
just
do
like
better on Canadian soil.
Yeah, I think he's more at home in Canada.
Oh, that's right. We also did the interview on the radio in Winnipeg.
Yes, we were on a radio station.
Ah.
Sounded like an ape like exploding.
Yeah, it sounded to me like what is this fucking a walrus or something, just like. Yeah,
Sounded like a walrus.
fart.
Yeah.
Exactly, Alden. That's exactly how I describe
Walrus
it.
fart.
Yep.
So yeah, what was that radio interview?
They just
about?
asked us.
What
It's
was
a
that for?
pretty traditional radio interview. They're like, you know, here's all the stuff you've done. What are you doing here? And stuff like that. So I told the story, which I guess I've never really told before, about beer and board games, about how we had, you know, that we had a fight or an argument with a man dressed like a bee, which was the episode where Dylan is dressed like a bee, a human bee, and we had this falling out and huge argument, and he left the show, like, you know, towards the end of it, and just walked out. But he was dressed like a bee, so like none of it can actually be taken seriously because it's so ridiculous that he's dressed like a bee. And then a bunch of people in Discord went and watched the episode that hadn't seen it, and it was a good time.
Well, you can actually listen to that podcast. I know Megan cataloged it somewhere, or not podcast, the radio interview.
Wait, is that? I don't think Adam hates GOT. Do you?
I have no opinion of Game of Thrones.
I don't think he's watched it yet. He hasn't seen
He's
it.
Never seen it.
That is correct.
It's a little different than Lord of the Rings, but I think the world is a little bit more well defined. Maybe we'll see. We'll see when you actually watch it if you can handle it or not.
Well, it doesn't take place on
Yeah.
Earth, so it'll probably be alright.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Sean listened to the interview on AM
I'm
radio.
thinking that-
Says it's the longest he ever listened to a commercial on AM radio for years.
That's cool.
I'm thinking that this is going to be my last game, guys.
Yeah.
I got to go to bed.
Yeah,
It's getting late.
that's fine.
If I could even get into a game, I just tried to get into 3 in a row and they all
Everybody's
failed.
playing.
No, it's very high activity. I mean, not a whole ton of people play this game. Sadly, it really Ubisoft. You know, I'm gonna be honest, really dropped the ball
With the
in this
amount
game.
of videos and stuff that we do with them, you'd think you'd know how to pronounce their name at this point.
I pronounce it like
I
several
know,
different
it's
ways.
always wrong.
Ubisoft, Ubisoft.
The correct
How do you
way,
pronounce it?
Ubisoft.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
like,
You've ever
you
heard
know,
them-
I've asked them that
people who
multiple
work
times.
for
Yeah.
you know how the guy who runs Ubisoft would pronounce it? Klaus? Klaus would pronounce it.
Klaus.
Ubisoft. I am Klaus from Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, I'm pronouncing it the way that Matt pronounced it on the episode of Beard Board Games that I was in.
They want to know if you're going to cuddle a pizza, Emery, tonight.
No, I'm not gonna eat anything
No,
else
not
tonight.
eat it.
I already had
Cuddle it.
enough food
Yeah.
today. No,
Pen it.
I'm gonna cuddle
you
my
gonna penetrate
girlfriend
Pizza with
tonight,
a
though.
girlfriend?
Your pizza?
No. Cat, are you a pizza? You, really?
Guess it depends on what you want, Emery.
Did somebody cast True Polymorph on a pizza? And the
Polymorph
result is
potion?
you?
It would explain why you love me so much.
That's true. I usually reserve the love that I have for Cat only for pizzas.
Ah, there you go.
So,
Polyjuice potion, perhaps?
could be Polyjuice potion. I don't know what that is.
Harry
but it
Potter,
could be.
dude. Have you not read Harry Potter yet?
I don't give a shit about Harry Potter. Fuck Harry Potter. I read the first one when I was in
Yeah.
middle school. I think it was like a new book back then.
Yeah, it came
in,
out
like,
when we were in middle
2000.
school, yeah.
Matt, I don't actually own Prey.
Yeah, 1999 maybe.
Only Emery does.
I do.
And I'm
I
not
own
sure
it.
I'll get around to playing it. I mean, it looks fun, but man, I don't know. It's just not my jam, I guess. I love Bethesda, but I'm just not into it as much.
Why do you think you're not into it?
I just, nothing really, like, makes me excited. Maybe it's because it's in space. I just don't care as much. And
Could be.
aliens,
The
and-
sci-fi
yeah,
aspect of it?
I don't know. I'd rather play Dishonored.
Yeah. Well, your favorite thing in the whole damn universe is, God, I almost said clockwork, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Steampunk. I do like steampunk.
Steampunk.
Yeah.
Steampunk. You like the
I do like
steampunk.
the steampunk.
Meanwhile, my favorite thing in the universe is fantasy. And that's why I love this game so much. That's also why I love that movie, the King Arthur Legend of the Sword. I went and saw that in theaters. That shit, like, bombed horribly, but
you
I
liked it?
really, really liked it. It's by far my favorite King Arthur movie since Monty Python and the Holy
Interesting.
Grail.
See, what I heard is that
Yeah.
it wasn't a great movie. It also was, there's just like so much stuff like that being made on TV and stuff like that that people just didn't really feel compelled to go see it. And I mean, I think the main reason I didn't go see it is because I'm just like, it's King Arthur. Like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, just don't call it King Arthur. Call it something else that isn't King Arthur, King whoever. And I probably would have went to see it. But I'm just like, I know all the shit about King Arthur. I don't want another retelling of it. There actually has been a lot of TV shows based on the mythology of King Arthur, and even if you do give it a twist,
Yeah.
I just don't care. You know, like just call it something else and don't even pretend it's King Arthur. I think they missed the boat on that, and they lost a lot of money in that movie.
That's true. I guess they probably decided to call it King Arthur, at least initially, because they thought that would help its sale and help its appeal. But I think you're right. I think at this point, people are kind of tired of seeing the same movie get made over and over and over again. Even though this movie was unlike any other King Arthur movie I'd ever seen. Like, it had this huge emphasis on magic and like ridiculous, like fantastical powers. as opposed to the typical King Arthur movie, which is basically just a
And yeah,
historical
like now that
movie.
you're saying that, like I'm actually curious to see it, but I think they should have just made it an original movie instead of trying to say, "Oh, it's King Arthur." Like, you don't always have to do that, especially when people have done that too much over the years. So whatever.
Yeah,
Megan liked
yeah,
it.
I do recommend seeing it. Good. Megan knows her shit. I'm gonna go this way.
Megan's also
team is
losing her
getting
shit in the
butt
comments right
fucked.
now because people are saying all her trigger words.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna
what
say
are her
them. I
trigger
don't want to be
words?
on. I don't want to be in the shit list right now.
Oh my god, are they like words that just merely saying them, even with no
Yeah,
context,
They're very
makes her
offensive to
upset?
I don't think I'm allowed to.
That's
I don't think I'm
kind
allowed
of amazing.
to say that. I think it's kind of like
I can't-
quoting you. You're just not allowed to say it, no matter what.
I can't believe words have that much
I
power
don't know.
over
There's-
Megan.
She would argue that they're not really words, and that's why they have to.
They're not
like
words.
Slang that pisses her off. If she gives me
oh,
permission in the comments to say them for context purposes, I will. Otherwise,
Most of the words are from Life is Strange, Emery, so I think you know what they are. They send anyone over the edge.
she says if I say them, she's gonna come to Philadelphia and kill me. So there you go. Yeah,
Oh yeah, he's
Philadelphia?
going to
Are
be
you in
Philadelphia
Philadelphia now?
He could be easily
Yeah.
murdered while he's there.
in 2 weeks, I think it is. I'll be in Philadelphia. 3 weeks. I'll be in Philadelphia for Too Many Games, which is a convention. I know she's going. I think a bunch of other people are going too.
You should go to
All you
Patty's
guys
Pub
have to
when you're
do
in
is just find
Philadelphia.
whatever Indian restaurants are closest to the convention and dress up like an Indian cook. And then when Adam shows up at the restaurant, just poison his food.
Makes sense. She
That's what I
says,
was
I will fucking kill you, Adam, if I say them, even for context purposes, so I will not say them.
That's an extreme viewpoint,
She
but I
feels,
appreciate
I
it.
think she feels the way about these two quote-unquote words that I feel about Lord of the Rings, so I
Yes.
can empathize. I can empathize. You feel like you're the only sane person amongst a bunch of lunatics. I get it.
Oh god. Now you're just gonna. I'm sorry, Megan. You might want to just go look at Discord for a while instead of the comments here. They're turning into a trigger fest. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You captured Zone A.
That's no
How many
good.
conventions do you guys go to a year? I don't know. I don't keep track. I go to a lot. Like I'm in Los Angeles in next week, Aaron? I'm going there for E3, and then
Yeah.
like a week after that, going to fucking.
Hopefully,
Too Many
coming
Games,
back with what kind of footage?
early access footage. Let's just leave it.
Early
at that.
access footage, people. You make the connection.
Yes.
Wait, what day is it?
Today is the 31st.
Oh yeah, so we're like past the.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can say
so-
some things, but
But what?
we should.
Okay.
You lost Zone A.
Shout,
What in the butt?
shout in the up.
The comments are making me laugh, even though they're trigger worthy.
They're just basically it's just everyone trying to infuriate Megan.
I just think it's funny that everybody knows what the words are. Like that's
yeah,
great.
except Emery. Emery doesn't know.
I don't.
And I
I'm
would-
sorry.
They
I
were
would
all
tell
the
her,
I can't
but
trigger
I
you.
would get in trouble.
But they were all the words you and I hated in Life is Strange, or at least I did. They triggered me. I don't know about you, but
Oh no. Yeah.
my
they
question is:
definitely
do you have like a
triggered
propane tank like hooked up
Aw.
to your ass or something so that you can shoot fire out?
me. Yes, I do.
Kind of dangerous.
Yep. I have a medieval propane tank
I think
attached
Megan's
to my
kind of
ass.
pissed at you, Aaron.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say the words.
But you
Oh,
encourage people to spread this information.
damn it.
It was actually mostly me.
Yeah, I did
think,
not
that did
encourage
that.
anyone. I was trying to help you. It's not my fault.
What
Although
about
I
the
was Admittedly, I was the man in the shower that you saw naked in the hotel.
Yeah, he had just finished with your parents again.
I had, yeah. They told me
He had to
where
clean up.
your hotel room
Oh
was,
no.
and I went there, you know.
It was kind of weird. You actually caught a little bit of Aaron in his process. He was just finishing up after banging your parents again.
Right.
Usually he's in and out like a ghost. There was a question about the Mario Kart playoffs. Yes, we're going to do it this year. We were going to do it last week, but 7 days took priority. So the next time we're all in Madison, then we'll do it. It's going to be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It'll be a little bit later than I wanted, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah, when are you guys coming up again?
We'll figure that out.
I think we only have enough footage to last us for like another week.
Okay.
So the
Well,
week after.
and potentially we have to do it before I go to Los Angeles. So this week.
This week? No, that's not possible.
No. All right, next upcoming week, I mean.
When are you going
Like
to
the
Los
week-
Angeles?
I want to say on the 11th. The
Hello?
11th.
Ooh,
Okay. So it'll
allegedly
be
the 11th.
like the 5th, 6th, 7th, that sort of area of June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a beer and board games this week?
There's a beer and board games on the 10th.
Okay. Then I would have to, if you want me for that, we'd have to stay towards the end of that week, so we'd have to do it later in the week.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Damn, dude, you got stabbed and you couldn't get the sword out of your body.
Actually, it's probably better I skip that one because I'm gonna have
That
to
was-
fly out the next morning at like 6 a.m. So I probably won't do that show.
Okay, I will get a replacement. Although
Full
I really
Horban.
wanted you to pick up this Xbox shit. No, but you'll be able to do that when you come up for GSP stuff, so that's
Exactly. Yeah.
cool.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. I gotta go to bed.
Ember gets up early now. He's got a real job.
Yeah, exactly.
More accurately, his girlfriend does, and he has to live.
Yeah, I guess that's it, yeah. All right, Ember, you have fun with that pizza.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll hug it and kiss it and eat it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. You guys are awesome.
Good
Hope
night.
you have a hella good night. YOLO.
Holy shit. That could have been worse. You could have said the other one.